Hello. In this video, I'll be demonstrating the logs page functionality. As the name of the page implies, the logs page is where you actually log maintenance that has been or is being performed on an asset. It's the first page you should turn to after maintenance has been performed to enter information about the maintenance activities. By the end of this video, you should have a good idea of how to search and filter through past maintenance history, as well as add, edit, and remove maintenance records. Before we get started, let's go over what we're seeing here in the interface. At the top of the page, similar to other parts of the application, we have some filters and some action buttons. The list below the filters displays all of the relevant information pertaining to each service log. In each row of the table, in the last column, there's some actions that you can perform as well. You can edit and delete, and view the service details for each log. Now that we know what we're looking at, let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin by searching and filtering through some of the existing maintenance logs. So let's say I was trying to find service that had been performed by a certain maintenance technician. The first freeform search input here at the top of the page will allow me to search the entire list for the technician's name. So if I type Dan Smith here in the input, the list filters down to just the service logs that were performed by Mr. Smith. Let's clear out the filter here for Mr. Smith by clicking the Clear Filters button. And now the second way you can filter through the logs is by asset. The second drop-down input here will allow you to either type the name of the asset or click to open and scroll through the list of assets. So if I choose Bear 0085 here, the list below filters appropriately and the showing count as well. Now let's talk about how you can add logs to the list. To add a log, click the Add Log button here at the top of the page, and this will bring you to a page where you can enter the relevant details about the service log. Before I start entering information, let's go over what we're seeing on this page. The left column here contains all the relevant details pertaining to the asset and the plan. The second and third columns contain some administrative related fields, and the right column is a summary of all the information currently entered. At the bottom of the page, when an asset is selected, you'll see a table with a service history of the asset that is chosen. So now that we have an idea of what we're looking at, the first thing we'll want to do is make sure we have an asset chosen, and we already have Bear 0008 here. And the plan we want to log service on is the fixed days plan every 30 days. Now, since this plan has a 30-day interval and today is the 26th, we're performing this service a little early, and that's okay, no big deal. We'll go ahead and just choose the January 30th interval here to log service for this interval. Next, we'll just make sure that the date we're actually performing the service on is correct, and it is. The odometer and engine hours are automatically pulled from the device in the vehicle, so we would just need to make sure that this is correct, and I've already verified that it is in this case, so we'll just move along. Next, I'll enter my invoice number, then a work order number, and then a parts cost, and finally I'll enter a labor cost. You can see when I enter the parts and labor costs that there is some calculation happening in the background for you to give you a total cost at the bottom here. The technician that performed this service was in fact Dan Smith, so we'll go ahead and just leave his name here. However, if it were another technician that performed the service, I could just simply delete it and type in a new one. I'll go ahead and add some service notes that were given to me by the technician. Great. Now that we've entered all the necessary information, we're all done, so I'll go ahead and I'll click the Save button here to finish entering this log. Now that we've added a log, editing logs isn't much different from adding, with the exception that we're editing something that already exists. So I'll go ahead and edit a log here by clicking the Edit button here in the Actions column, and this will bring us back to the log detail page. So there's not much I'm going to change here. I'm just going to make a quick change to the invoice number and then click Save. Deleting logs is super simple. Again, we'll come over here to the Actions column and simply click the Delete button. We'll then be prompted to verify that this is the intended action, and to complete the operation, we'll click Delete again. And that's it, folks. This has been an in-depth look at the maintenance logs functionality. For additional information on how to use additional pages in a more in-depth way, please refer to the help page and follow along with other videos. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.